All right, so today we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to do a linear regression on the calculator. So this is essentially finding the line of best fit for a data set. So you can do this for a large data set or something small too. Today we're just going to take a look at it for something small. We'll do two pairs of coordinates here. So something like 3, 2, and -12, 7. Okay, so we're going to find the equation of the line that goes through that. Now, we could definitely use the work that we've done algebraically to find the equation, but the idea here is, what if you're given a large data set where all the points don't fit perfectly on the line? How do we get our calculator to find the equation of that line? So today we're going to go ahead and use the calculator to do that. Okay, so I'm using the emulator on my calculator for TI-84 Plus. Okay, so these steps should still work for an 83 and an 84, maybe some 82s out there still. But for this thing, what we're going to do here is, from the home screen, I'm going to go to Stat, and I'm going to go to Edit. So in this list here. Now, I already have stuff in my list from a previous class. If I want to get rid of this stuff from the list here, what I can do is I can go up and highlight the name of the list and hit Clear, and then hit Enter. Now, if I went upstairs and I clicked on the list and I hit Delete, that could be a problem, because now if you look, L2 is gone. And that's a problem because the calculator does, as a default, the X values or the input values are in L1, and the output or the Y values are in L2. So if you don't have L2, you're going to have an issue. So to get it to come back here, what I can do is, notice in blue above that delete button I pressed there is INS, that's insert. So to get anything in blue to show up, I push second and then delete. Gives me that. And now if I want to get L2 to show up, above the 2 down at the bottom is L2, so I push second and then 2. So I get L2 and enter. So L2 is back. Okay. But I wanted to clear that list. So now that I'm highlighting the name, I hit Clear and then I hit Enter. So I'm going to go over here and type in the X value. So that first X value was 2, the second one was -1. So I'm pushing Enter after each of those. Notice here though, I put the negative button next to the Enter, not the subtraction symbol. Okay, the calculator has big issues with that. Even though they're interchangeable, usually when we're writing them by hand, we don't distinguish them. Your calculator will think about the subtraction symbol as an operation and the negative symbol as making it a negative number. So it makes a distinction there. Okay, so I type these in. Okay. To get it to do the regression for us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Stat, and I'm going to go over to Calculate. Okay? And option number 4 is linear regression, so I can go down to 4 and hit Enter, or I just hit 4. Okay? The default is L1, L2 for my X and Y list. I'm good there because I already did that. But before I go down to Calculate, I'm going to go to Store RegEq. Okay? So I'm going to store my equation in here. Okay? To get it to store that equation for me, what I'm going to do is I want it to plug this into Y1. Okay? So to get Y1 to show up, I go to Vars. Right here next to the clear button, go over to YVars, function, okay, and Y1 is where I want it to be. Okay, you can plug it in for any equation you want, but just easy on ourselves here. And now I go to calculate. Okay. So I get this R squared and the R value. Okay. If you don't have those on your calculator, it's a one-time change that you make, but if you don't have those, if you push second and go to 0, it brings you to the catalog. Either you can scroll all the way down, or just push the D button, which is the X to the -1. And go down to Diagnostic On. And there it is. Hit Enter on this and hit Enter again. Okay. So now I'm going to have that R and the R squared value. Okay. Now, to go back to what I just had there, I can push second and Enter. It brings up the previous entry. I don't want that one, but if I do that again, that'll bring up my linear regression work and hit Enter. Okay. So you can see here that it's an AX plus B, which is the same as slope-intercept form. They just have an A instead of an M here. Your A value is -4.75. Okay, so our slope is -4.75, and our B value is 2.25. The R squared value is variance, and we're not really using that this year, but we are focused on the R value, which is -1. So remember, correlation has a range between -1 inclusively and +1 inclusively. The farther you are away from 0, the better the correlation is, which means that the better your equation fits your data set. So this one fits perfectly. The negative just means it has a negative slope to it. Okay? Now, to get my calculator to actually do some work for us in terms of, like, if I want to plug in an X value and get a corresponding Y value out, what I can do here is I'm just going to clear the screen so it's easy to work with. But I have to remember my equation is in Y1. So to get that to show up again, I just do Vars, YVars, function, Y1. Okay? And I've opened parentheses here, and I can type in, say I wanted to find out when X is 8. Hit 8 here. I can close my parentheses, or if you forget, it's okay. It won't do anything bad to it. Hit Enter. And I get this -38.75. Slightly cut off for you all. There we go, 38.75. And you can continue doing that for these values. Maybe you don't have to do that same process over. If I want that same entry again, I can just do second, Enter, and now I can just change that to, maybe they wanted 25. hit enter. I get that out. Okay. All right, I hope this helps. This is also in the textbook on page 116, at least the basics for it. Okay.